Coach, do you feel that the Service Academy games, in a way, define your program a little bit?
I mean, it's a big game for us. I mean, we're all trying to get the Commander in Chief trophy, and it's our number one goal. So, and this is the first leg in it, so it's obviously a huge game for us.
You think it'd be somewhat of a measuring stick for where you're at?
I mean, yeah, but we're not worried about measuring stick. I mean, we'll let other people try to define that. We're trying to win this game.
Right. You had mentioned you had played Air Force in your entire career, from the time you were a player at Hawaii to assistant coach at Hawaii to here, and you think this is one of the better teams you've seen. Why is that, Coach? Anything particular you're seeing out of Air Force?
Just mature team. You can see them on both sides of the ball, especially on the defensive front. A lot of guys that have played a lot of football, even the secondary. Um, they're a well coached football team, but just so you can see just maturity on their team.
So they have the one big fella, the 330-pound nose guard, and he's tough to move. And then apparently there's another really disruptive force, a defensive end. What do you like about that defensive front?
Well, like you said, the Fafita kid's really good inside. The Jackson kid on the edge, we know how good Jordan. We try to recruit him. The Dakota kid, number 8, didn't
Dakota
play
Bills, yeah.
didn't play against us last year, but he's really athletic. So they got a good front, 97. I mean, they're all good players up front. Really good linebackers. We saw how fast they were last year. Really good front.
So how big of a game is this for your offensive line and in the blocking unit as a whole to move these guys off the ball?
I mean, this game is always that. I mean, you look at the games when we've won, we've blocked well up front, and we ran the ball. In the games they won, they were able to move us. So it always comes to up front. You can say schematics, but it's won in the trenches.
So forever, Air Force has been an odd front. Last year they threw a curve with going to an even front, which was out of the blue, and it caused some problems. Do you go into this year being prepared for anything because of that?
Yeah, so you prepare what they've done in the past. You prepare what they did last year, maybe some stuff they did this year. So you just try to be broad in your approach, but you can't get ready for everything.
Right.
So I'm sure they'll have some new wrinkles. We'll have some new wrinkles, and you just adjust in the game.
Well, similarly on the other side of the ball, I know they've been under center almost all season. Do you have to also prepare for the chance that they may go back shotgun against you?
Yeah, I mean they haven't done it all year. We'll see, but they've always saved something for us.
Right.
They could go to shotgun, but they've been playing really well under center. So, I mean, who knows? And like I said, we'll just get to the game and see.
Right. I talked to you about Tama early in the week, and I didn't even think of the fact that the Samoan connection, you're of Samoan descent. I think Coach Nua actually started recruiting him initially, and he is from Samoa. Do you feel a connection to him and his family? I think he told me when I interviewed him yesterday that you may know some descendants of his fathers and all. You know some same people.
Yeah, I know a lot of his uncles. Great kid. You're always proud when somebody, I'm Samoan, you see somebody, Samoan descent, but I'm the head football coach for the entire team. I'm not like
Right.
biased just to the Samoan kids.
Right.
White, black, Hispanic,
Or Hawaiian.
whatever your nationality is. Coach for everybody.
So you talked about the special teams was a crucial element of the Memphis game. How do you fix those things, tighten things up on special teams? Has that been a big emphasis this week?
Huge emphasis, just from the standpoint of, we're actually playing pretty well the first 2 games in special teams. And so it was a big shock to us that, they had all those big returns to us because our kickoff team has been playing lights out.
Right, they got a lot of short fields in addition to the touchdown.
Which flipped the game. Right. I mean, we're up 27 and they looked tired. We had run a bunch of snaps. And to get a snap like that without even our defense getting on the field, because they were having a hard time moving the ball against our defense. Right. And so to give them those points were kind of demoralizing. And so we've, Coach Yukaitis, who oversees that, is a really good coach. I mean, we've been ranked in the top 5 before in the country. We've been ranked number 1 in that before. So I have great faith in him that we'll get it rectified.
Obviously, it's rare for a freshman to get on the field at a service academy at any position, but it's even more rare to do it at front 7, close to the ball like that. They're usually not physically there. What is Tama? What makes him special?
Well, number one, he's got phenomenal work ethic. I mean, he comes out here, he works as hard as anybody we have on the football team, and he's done that from day one. Number 2, he's got like ice water in his veins or something. Like he is a very cool dude. Never gets too high, never gets too low. He's even keel all the time. And then number 3, he's got phenomenal football IQ. And I think going to the prep school and having a year up there and being with the coaching staff up there obviously set him up to be successful once he got down here. But we're really excited about the way he's been playing and continuing to work with him for the next 4 years.
So obviously the opening was created when Pistorio went down, and he stepped up. And I mean, I imagine that you looked at a lot of people there, but when it came down to it, and he didn't start the opener, did he?
No, he did not.
Who did end up starting the opener?
Walt started the opener, Walt Little.
Walt Little, right. But what has Tom done to take over? I mean, he's clearly taken over the position.
He just keeps getting better every day. And I think that piece of it, that consistency piece of it is what we're looking for at every position. But when you get a guy that knows what he's supposed to do and then he consistently does it at a high level, and then he just keeps getting better every day. It was impossible not to put him out there.
So I imagine, though, there's some ups and downs with a freshman, the first-year collegiate player. I'm sure he's made his share of mistakes. I mean, is he learning as he goes?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think our entire defense is, but I think as a staff, we talked, there's a couple young guys that we're putting out there, him being one of them. And we understand that he may make a mistake from here or there. Let's make sure that we're doing everything in our power not to make repetitive mistakes. You may have something happen here. Let's get it coached up. And I think that football IQ piece of it, that's really important there. So those repetitive mistakes don't continue to occur.
So obviously when you're talking about a kid who's starting as a freshman, he's got to have a pretty high ceiling. I mean, he's a long way from being a finished product, right?
Absolutely. We're really excited about him. He's going to have an excellent career here.